Okay guys, sorry for the noise in the background. Neighbor feels like he's got to cut something, but that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about oil along with break-in process. You know, I see a lot of people asking what's the proper oil I should use for my new hellcat. Well, as you can see right here is what you should use. Okay, and the reason being, you don't want to use synthetic for break-in. It's not good for the rings on the pistons. You know, they won't seat properly. And basically another thing you want to do too is for the first 20 to 22 miles, you basically want to ride it like you stole it. You know, you want hard acceleration, hard deceleration. Your job and goal is to seat the rings as fast as possible. You know, so it's okay to ride it hard. You know, ride it like you stole it. Not a big deal. After the 20 miles is up, what you're going to want to do, drain the oil, and you come over here to the other side. You want to take this cover off. Okay, and when you take that cover off, basically what you're doing is there's a little filter in there down below, a little cartridge. You pull that out and you essentially use some brake clean that filter out. It's a little mesh screen basically. You know, once you get done with that, you put this back together. Not a big deal. This here you basically just disconnect it and it comes right off. Not an issue. But once you get that cover back on, you put your, it takes roughly about 3/4 of a quart. You know, it doesn't even take a whole quart. And essentially what you'll do, take out your dipstick here. You want the bike standing straight up and down. And when you get it straight up and down, you dip that in. You don't screw it all the way in. You just dip that in there. You can check the dipstick. Another way to tell too is you have your sight glass right here. Okay, and with the sight glass, you want that when the bike is straight up and down, you want the sight glass to be pretty much filled to the top. You know, but either way you choose to do it is up to you. Don't overfill it, because that's just as bad as underfilling it. You know, that's one thing you don't want to do. But aside from that, 1040 is fine. You know, and you want to basically run standard conventional oil, non-synthetic, for about the first 1,500 miles. Okay, now after the first 1,500 miles, then you can switch over to your synthetic. You know, because at that point in time, everything should be broken in just fine, and it's totally safe for you to swap over to your synthetic. You know, like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing synthetic from the gate, because you simply won't seat your piston rings, and it's not good for it. You know, you'll have issues later on down the line. Plus, you know, obviously the more you get it broken into, the more power you'll get. And another thing too, if you're having a hard time finding neutral, you know, don't worry, it will break itself in. It's going to be tough at first. That's totally normal. You know, it can be a pain to find neutral sometimes. I already know. Even still, right now I only have 50 miles on mine. Somewhere around in there. We'll see here in a second, as soon as it pops on. Oh yeah, 52.4. But another thing too, in order to use this lock right here, you know, you got to have the wheel all the way to the left, and it basically locks the handlebars, you know, so nobody can steal it. If you do it like this, it won't work. You know, so they got to be full left lock, and you can essentially turn the bar lock on where you can't turn it. That's for really new people, in case you didn't know. But other than that, you know, I just want to touch base on the oil, because I see a lot of questions and stuff about it. You know, a lot of people not knowing what to put in there. You know, and make sure that you get motorcycle oil, you know, like I have here, the 4T. You know, because these have a wet clutch system. The oil lubricates the clutches, and regular motor oil just doesn't have the additives that the motorcycle oil does. So, you know, definitely stick with motorcycle oil. That's for sure. You know, that way you won't burn out your clutches and cause yourself more issues that you didn't have to deal with in the first place. But other than that, I think that's pretty much about it, you know. And like I said, you know, after that first 20 miles, make sure you get the oil out, pull that filter out, clean that filter, put the little screen back in there, redo it. You know, then you're safe to run it at that point. You know, for the cost of the oil, I mean, I would change it every 300 miles because, you know, the engines do get hot. They're only air cooled, and the hotter it gets, the more it breaks down the oil. So, I mean, better safe than sorry, that's for sure. Mine will be changed every 300, but this motor here is actually going bye-bye. A friend of mine is buying this, and I actually have the 190 coming in. So once I get that, I'll definitely be making some more videos. And I guess that's it for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, ask. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody.